Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of ExSoCal, and this is the Makemake session. I think I'm saying that right. And we will kick it right off with Tara Fetherolf from UC Riverside for story time.
Great, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Before I get started, I want to emphasize actually that this is a story from the perspective of a senior graduate student. And I think that this is the earliest career stage story talk that you'll hear between yesterday.
She cut out for you guys too?
Yeah, I think we've lost her on her end.
That was very quick.
Well, we'll just get it right out of the way early. While we're waiting, just a reminder for anybody who has a question for our speakers, we're doing that through the Slack channel. There's a session 5 Slack, and please put your questions there.
Tara, are you back? I swear, she's been here for like 10 minutes and it could have froze at any time.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can.
Okay, I did get an internet is unstable thing.
Maybe try with your camera off.
Yeah.
Like Steven.
Is my audio stable?
Sounds good.
Okay. Maybe just everyone starts their school all at the same time.
This is part of your story.
Yeah, this is part of my story. Anyways, I was saying that this is maybe the earliest career talk or career stage talk that you'll hear this during these 2 days, me being a just recently graduated PhD student. And the focus is going to be on work-life balance, which has been a constant struggle. And I thought I had my work-life balance figured out in grad school. My method was if I go to the office, then I work. And if I come home, then I stop working. And if I need to work more, then I go back to the office. I'll work on the weekends. And this kind of didn't work anymore once the stay-at-home order started. The line between work and home was non-existent. It was now you're always home. And life just completely got turned upside down. And what was interesting was I found a varied amounts of responses between graduate students, faculty, and staff. And it kind of ranged from absolute silence, people kind of dropping off the face of the earth, seemingly, or let's just resume business as usual, but the meetings are going to be on Zoom now. And from graduate students in particular, actually, there were actually outcries of things are not fine. We can't just continue as usual. But it was very clear that everyone was dealing with this situation in their own way. And of course, that's totally reasonable. And for me personally, I just needed to check out and have like a little mental break. I was super stressed out at the time, kind of unrelated to COVID, but also I wanted to take time to focus on health and family. But then after some time had passed, a couple weeks, I realized, you know what, I'm a final year graduate student and I need to figure out how to get work done, even when I'm at home, even though I don't have that separation. And I really, really struggled with that. And it wasn't easy to find help because normally I would just talk to one of my peers and I would go to their office and be like, oh, what are you working on? These are my goals today. And that would just give me that little spark of motivation I needed to kind of get started. But suddenly, like, working was a taboo topic among grad students. It was really weird. There's always the guilt of like, haha, procrastination, not getting work done, but it was even worse. And then there were still people actively protesting about getting work done or saying like, now is not a time to be working. You should be active in your community, which is also completely reasonable. But for me, I didn't want to extend my PhD any longer. So I had to kind of like figure this out internally. And what I ended up doing was focusing on my routine and my work environment. So to get my routine back on track, I started contacting people and saying, okay, let's have weekly meetings. And I need to check in with people and say, okay, I know that I need to make a deadline. Just say, hey, I'm going to do this before next week. And then I have that external accountability. And then for my work environment, I mean, it's obvious that working on the couch and the bed is a bad idea, but I actually found that working at my computer desk was also a bad idea. I have a gaming computer, so it's a little distracting, but also I work on a laptop, and the computer desk is not the right posture. So I found that working at my kitchen table works best for me. I generally have a neutral background behind me, so it's not distracting during my meetings. And another thing I learned was that I can't bring distractions to my kitchen table. Like, we already didn't eat, but I tried to do a puzzle on our table, and then I would just like randomly get distracted and start doing the puzzle right next to me. The puzzle got done really fast though. So I figured it out well enough to finish my PhD on time, but I think all I did was flip. I went from not working at all to working too much. And so I'm still working on trying to find that balance. And that's kind of like the next goal for me, kind of starting my postdoc. But I think in closing, I want to emphasize that you should really think about what grad students or undergraduates have been going through during this time. Because I can only talk about my own experience, and I can say that grad students, or a lot of people, are really good at hiding the fact that they're not okay. So even if you have checked in with them, check in with them regularly. Always ask, how are you doing? Every single time, even if you think that they look like they're doing okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, so how was my audio check on that? Was that the right level of obnoxious?
I think that was perfect.